Hello, welcome in. How are we all today? I'm going to start a new project today. This is what we're doing. We're diving straight in. So this is something that's been sat on my desk for quite some time. I've wanted to do it for months and months and months. And it's going to be a display piece for some 10mm wood elves that are bagged up here that I've printed but haven't really done anything with. But this is ready to go. So I want to do the base and then kind of go from there. I need to measure up and print a frame for it. So yeah, but I just kind of wanted to get the main structure painted first. So hello to everyone in chat, live, Taria, Hackslash, Minis, and Govey, and anyone else. Welcome in. Did I finish the Jedi from the last session? Yes, I did actually. Hang on, I will grab them. Bear with. So I finished Plo Koon on stream pretty much, and then I thought about kind of finishing Ahsoka on this stream, but I kind of wanted to do something else. So just so you can see. Hey Pillow, how's it going? So there is Plo Koon in all his glory. I think the only thing that I didn't do was the laser burns on the ground. I'm so happy with that color of lightsaber. That was a very, very satisfying moment. And then we've got Ahsoka, which I'm really happy. I'm really happy with how Ahsoka came out, rocking the old school green lightsabers as well. So that is my entire team, all painted, ready for my game against Hedgehog. Or games, multiple games. But for this session, we're going to be painting this. It is the freeziest cheese of all. What up, Cryo? How's it going? Squeezle! Hey, oh my god, there's so many people here. So many familiar names and faces. Hello. Right, so we're going to get on with this. I've been looking at kind of inspirational artwork for kind of wood elf realm home vibey kind of thing, and what I'm thinking is for the buildings themselves I want to go white, kind of akin to Lothlorien, with maybe some very light greenish gold accents on these bits, and then kind of go redwood-esque trees but shade them down quite dark. And then some, obviously, go green on the leaves. There is some background that you can see behind here, and I'm not entirely sure what I want to do with that. I think I might just send it dark and then have a kind of bluey green hue to it. I reckon that's probably it. Cryo, I'm good. Chilling now after some chores with pizza and tea with lemon. Oh, how civilized, Cryo. How civilized. All things considered. Oh yeah, you're working away from home at the moment, aren't you, Pillow? So this is actually, I actually sell this as a bigger piece. If you went to GriffCon, you would have seen another one of them. They're basically big frame dioramas. Bailey just farted. Thanks, mate. That is ripe. Thank you so much, dog. That is. You can taste it. It's at the back of the throat. Great. So yeah, this is actually originally designed for 28, 32mm models, and I just scaled it down. It was meant to be on filament printer, but I printed it in resin. It's done in 4 pieces, so you can see, and then I went over to a friend's who's got a belt sander and sanded the hell out of it. So you can see all that. Shiny Mew, thank you. So yeah, that's planned, and then there was various filling in between the gaps and all that. But so what I think we're going to start with is, I think if I start with the white, then I'm not going to be able to be messy for the rest of the project, and I kind of want to be messy. So what we're going to do, I'm going to start with the back bit there. I kind of want to put LEDs in these 3 doorways. That might be a thing. That might be a thing later down the line. But for now, let us start with some paint. I'm going to go in with something like Tyrian Navy, which is a blackish blue, and then go in with a green over it. Maybe kind of stipple in some white and then go in the green. Yeah, let's go with that. So a little bit on the palette. There's not too much there. Oh no, I am classing that as back as well. Okay, all right. Vanessa, hey Vanessa. Yeah, it's Bailey. Bailey just farted as well, so you know that's a thing. That's fun. How are you, Vanessa? Between last week's stream and this week's stream, it's like we're getting the band back together. It's very fun. I'm enjoying it, and I'm not gonna lie. I'm enjoying the idea of streaming once a week because I've been looking forward to this. I've been looking forward to this one stream, whereas before, when I was streaming more and more, you know, 3 to 4 times a week. It started going like, oh, do I want to stream? Have I got the energy? But when I start looking forward to the stream, because I only get to do it once a week, yeah, I think it's a nice vibe. It's a nice place to be in. Velreth, hey, how's it going? Love me some speed paints with dry brush and stippling on top. Absolutely, you are speaking my kind of language. And I've uploaded the latest YouTube video, which is waiting to go live tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow. Which is another Tyranid Hive Fleet quick and easy paint, and I'll sort out the PDF for that tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow, and then it'll probably get released later on in the week. What happened with you? Have been off socials for a bit. I kind of just I stopped streaming because I wanted to focus on the shop, and then I wanted to focus on kind of putting out tutorials for YouTube and starting Patreon, which I've started now. The Patreon is up and is steadily growing, which is very nice to see. And yeah, I'm kind of throwing myself into content creation a lot more, with the end goal of that being a big thing, a main thing for me, because I really enjoy it. I enjoy filming, I enjoy editing, I enjoy painting, I enjoy teaching. It's kind of bringing all the things that I have experience in together. And I've tried the Patreon route before. I tried it a couple of years ago, but that was kind of just streaming. But this time I'm actively creating kind of Patreon exclusive content through you know, PDF tutorials and stuff like that. So yeah, I have a good feeling, a hopeful feeling. Should catch up on chat. Is that Zenithal Prime or just white? This is just white. Oh, was it white? Yes, it was just white. Is Hedgehog still a thing? Hedgehog is still a thing. I'm going and hanging out with Hedgehog in a couple of weeks. We're going to have one of our gaming sessions. Hence why I was painting Star Wars Shatterpoint last week's stream, because I wanted to get my whole crew painted, ready for that. So we have a fully painted game, which is always nice. Mauser Schmool, hello, welcome in. But because I'm streaming in the evenings, now, or one evening. Head Dog's not usually around for evenings. So he's an incredibly busy boy. He's got so many things on. So he might swing by into stream every now and again, but I wouldn't expect it to be a regular thing. That's a quite nice colour, I think. Tyrian Navy's quite nice for like a background blue. Yeah, I quite like that. Vanessa, how are you? What have you been up to? Yeah, Tyrian Navy. This paint, I swear, I'm finding more and more uses for. If you ever want to paint jeans, like denim jeans, this is perfect. You can't get better than this. Target number 4. Hey, on Twitch. Yeah, back on Twitch. Every Tuesday, 6 till 8 UK time. Oh, and if anyone is, this is probably a long shot, but if anyone is local to Cornwall in the UK, then this Saturday there is Cornwall's first ever tabletop kind of convention, which is very, very exciting. Kind of TCG and tabletop convention down in Helston, which myself and some other content creators based down here are going to and being vendors. So that'd be incredibly, incredibly exciting. Which means I've got a very early start and a very long day on Saturday. Merlin, hey Merlin. It's the same one that 6 Plus Save is going to. Mark did a YouTube video earlier about it. It's actually run with someone I used to go to school with, who used to live around the corner from me, which was very, very confusing when I got the email inviting me to it. Where to? Oh, like way down in Cornwall. So in Helston, which is not as far down as you can get, but it's pretty far down. 9 PM to 11 PM Syrian time. Are you in Syria? Is that where you are? God damn. I knew you were kind of out and about and remote. Okay, just got to go through all of these sections, making sure I get all the bits between the trees. Yeah, it's pretty. Did you just Google where Helston was? Yeah, it's pretty far. Hang on. I have no idea. I have no idea what that means, Vera. I have no idea. Yeah. It's not close. So pretty much anywhere. Okay. I don't think there's any. Oh, there's a little bits at the top. Little bits at the top. I'm really excited to start painting on the actual models for this, because they are proper 10mm tiny wood elves. I think I've got the placement of most of them figured out in my head. Been up and down the Middle East at this point. Starlink has been my friend. Oh, you just surviving off Starlink, are you? There's more of this. And I kind of want to do these first stages, not in a messy way, but just throw paint at it and see what happens. Blending and just having fun with it. been putting more and more video content out on Instagram as well, and I've noticed that there's still quite a vocal minority of people who really don't like speed paints. It's quite funny. Okay. I'm not too fussed about getting the blue on some of the trunks because actually it will blend in quite nicely with the green, especially around the edges. I might just touch up a little bit with white, but not a lot because I kind of want that blue to be in there. It's a blackish blue, but it has got some kind of greeny vibes to it. Oh, fair enough, Vanessa. I'm sorry to hear that you've had a bit of a rough time with it. Definitely relax and take care of yourself. Absolutely. I had a similar kind of vibe a couple of months ago where I got to the point where I was like, I think I need to lose some weight and actually get a little healthier because I noticed that I was noticeably bigger than I had been in the past and more unfit. I'm happy to say I've lost over half a stone so far. And going to the gym and enjoying it. And feeling better for it, thankfully. Okay, this is where we're going to just start stippling some of this in, just to get a kind of secondary coat, and then I'll probably go in with maybe a lighter blue and start stippling that in as well, just to get a little bit of texture in there. I'm trying to follow along with that, Velreth. I think I understand it. I think I understand that. Okay. Yeah, I think some. But also, don't stipple with your best brush. Don't do that. Don't do that. Silly idea. I want to have some Royal Roads Brilliant Blue. Yeah, I think so. Backslash. I mean, you're not going to likely going to win any Golden Demons with speed paints, but in terms of getting painted minis on table, you'd be hard pressed to find anything quicker with the same results. Plus, using them as a base to use tried and true methods on top yields very presentable tabletop mini. Yeah, absolutely. And I think it can be pushed, not to Golden Demon level. Although I tried, I did enter Golden Demon with a 90% contrast model. Didn't get anywhere, predictably. But you can definitely push them further than advertised, massively so. Waking up at 6:30. I mean, waking up at 6:30 is going to make me. Ugh. Yeah, no, that's fair, Vanessa. That's fair. Life tends to get in the way. Right, we're going to throw a little bit of Brilliant Blue. And I'm going to use an old brush. Anyone remember blue Games Workshop brushes? It's not quite the old school red ones, but I might just put some yellow as well, and maybe have like little fireflies in the background. That could be fun. I'm quite liking like the kind of watercolor effect that you can get when stippling contrast and speed paints. There needs to be like a universal term for contrast and speed paints. I don't have ton of time to paint my sculpts, so doing a Slap Chop 2.0 gives me a chance to see sculpts in colour. Yeah, absolutely. It just gets it done. It just gets it done. You know, no, they're not going to be the most incredible, you know, award-winning paint jobs. They're not. But are you going to have fun doing it? Yeah. Are you going to get a painted model fairly quickly? Yeah. No problem with it then. Right. I think we will. I want to darken that down a little bit and start putting some burnt moss, blackish green grey. Yeah, I think that could be quite nice. Heavy glaze method. Yeah, absolutely. You've been selling a few pieces at good prices at Verco's Vault. What's Verco's Vault? It's not enough of a certainty that I would ever let everything go to Paint Minis, hoping for them to buy it. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. I've actually been taking a look. That's not the reason why I'm doing this. Taking a look again at kind of diorama display pieces, and I dug out my Acadian Trench diorama and just had a look at that. Because I almost painted a bit of that on this stream. So I thought maybe I could do a little bit of touch up, and then I got it out and went, you know what? I'm kind of happy with it. There's one or two tiny bits, but just not enough for a stream. There's one or two tiny bits that I just want to, you know, finish up. But it's one of those pieces that I looked at and went, actually, I'm quite happy with how that turned out. So I ended up just taking some photos of it instead. There's a couple of dioramas that I almost finished and then kind of just stopped, which I need to get back on. The Night Goblin one, the Squig one, is definitely one of them. But that's more of like a practical sense that little things like I didn't glue down the tape around the back of the frame and I didn't paint it, so it's just like bare naked tape at the moment. Old World Gobbo's target? Yes, Old World Gobbo's. Definitely speed paint for that, because that's going to take a while. Crownblade, hey, how's it going? Jesus, I forgot about the Crownblade pun entrances. So I'm just using a little bit of what's this, burnt moss around the edges of this, just to give the hint of a little bit of green, a little bit of shading. Just adding another texture in there. And this I really don't mind going over onto the bark. Because it will lay up quite a nice texture for that as well. And a lot of the colours will just fade into the kind of the black shadows of the piece when I put it into the frame itself. I need to make a frame for this. It's tempting to print one. I mean, printing would be easier, but I mean, making a nice wooden one would be cool. That would be cool. Vanessa, it's a miniature museum that's opened in Vegas. Oh, that one! I really want to. You've got pieces and sell pieces in there. What? That's awesome. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know that they kind of took on pieces and sold them on behalf of people. That's awesome. That's really cool. I'm hurt, Aoki. You wound me, sir. Sorry. Okay, I'll read the joke out. Did you hear about the guy whose parents were complete opposites? Yeah, Mum was always right and Dad left. God damn. They're just so bad. They got them for their collection at the museum. Oh, they bought them off. The museum bought them off you. I mean, that's even better. I'd argue that's better. Either way, that's sick. Congratulations. Right. I will add in the details of the fireflies at a later date, I think. They have a Vanessa Miniatures space? That's incredible! I mean, Well, I say I want to go to America. Not right now, I don't. Not right now. And probably not again for the next 4 years, at least. But yeah, I really want to go to Virko's Vault. I really want to go and visit that museum. In the same way that I want to visit the I can't remember what the miniature train place is in, or the miniature world in Germany is called. Wunderland or something like that. Need to die in a tragic accident and be the new Picasso. Well, you can just cut off your ear, right? For legal reasons, don't cut off your ear. Don't do that. Right, I'm going to throw in some... I'm going to start with the bark of the trees, and I want to go in quite a different direction to the blue. Those cold colours, I want it to be quite warm. So we're going to start with a brown red, which I think... Cygor brown... No, Gorgrunter fur. Gorgrunter fur is pretty accurate for that. Let's go with that. Ooh, I'm running out of Gorgrunter fur. Ooh, do I have enough in here for this? I might not actually have enough. We might have to go a different route. Burnished red? Yeah, that's the speed paint equivalent of Gorgrunter. There we go. Apparently the Virko's Vault is taking over all the classes and stuff at LVO, so we'll be much better supported beyond the tournament. Wow, that's really cool. I want to see more kind of miniature art museums. I know that there was an exhibition up in, was it Leeds? And then they did the documentary, which I still haven't seen. I really need to see it. Yeah, I want it to become more of a thing. Just miniature, like tabletop miniature and display miniature art. I'd love it to get to the point where you have a full-on exhibition in something like the Tate Modern in London, which could actually happen. I think that could happen in the next 5 years or so. It's not out of the realms of possibility. Given the latest development in the US, might not even let you. It's very true. This is very true. I might not even be allowed in. Right, I'm going to do the wood first, then the base. So we'll see. I don't think I'll need to. Yeah, that's fine. Actually, yeah. This. What's this? Burnished wood? No, burnished red. So it's nice. Reddy brown that I can shade later with something like dark wood, aptly named. And we're just using a fairly messy brush for the big bits. I'll go in with a detail brush in a bit. Are you going to LVO for 2025? Nice. Oh, for those of you who weren't here last week and missed the announcement, I'm going to Salute as a vendor. I have a vendor table at Salute next year in London at the XL, which is very, very exciting. And I'll have Bran and Hedgehog on the stand helping me. So if you're going to Salute 25, swing by and say hi. This is very, very exciting. Right, I'm going to leave the smaller branches. I reckon we'll do maybe 2 coats of this. I think it's relatively transparent because it's a lighter brown, and the burnt moss. Yeah, burnt moss is kind of showing through. In a don't know what the word would be. In a bad way rather than a good way. There we go. But yeah, that's the kind of vibe I'm looking for. We're gonna stipple dry brush and do all fancy stuff as well on top of that. But this is kind of just painting by numbers, getting the colour down, and then going from there. And then throughout the week, over the weekend, well, maybe not over the weekend because I've got this event, but throughout the week I might work on this some more, and then next stream probably maybe make a start on the miniatures themselves. That'd be quite cool. We'll see how far we get with this. Importing wild brand all the way from Leeds. Oh yes. Oh. Spare no expense. Go. I hope everyone in the UK has been keeping safe with all this absolutely horrendous weather that we've had recently. We've just had it wet and windy down here, but I know that people have been snowed in and flooded and everything in between, so I hope everyone has been keeping safe. I know it's not just in the UK, but that's the kind of stuff that I'm immediately aware of. Depends if it's paid personal or unpaid internship. Let's say friends doing friends a favour and getting accommodation free entry and food paid. And then let's see how many sales I make on the day. If it's a lot of sales and I'm like, ooh, lots of money, then they will get paid. If it's an absolute train wreck, then lunch. Because that's pretty much it. Moving day kind of deal. Yeah. Yeah, paid in exposure. Oh god, I hate that, but yes, essentially yes. Yeah, I'm in, especially after losing the entirety of the EU trade from my business, I am in no way to pay people. No position to pay people, unfortunately. So as of Sunday that's just gone, aka 2 days ago, I stopped all EU trade with the business, and Northern Ireland and a couple of other countries. But that whole thing has well and truly come to a close. And then, depending on what happens in January, I might lose the US market as well, in which case 2025 will become very interesting indeed. Paid on commission. That sounds like a lot of effort to figure out. Bailey, my god. I know you haven't been feeling well today, but mate, those farts are weapon grade. Oh, that is chunky air right there. That is... Whoa. That brings a tear to your eye, that one. How's Dr. Mum these days? Yeah, she's all good. She's all good. Busy. She's technically retired, and yet more busy than she was when she was employed. But yes, keeping busy, happy. Gotta love your politician. Yeah. Not to get it all political, but wasn't just the politicians. Oh, are you talking about from January onwards, in which case, that's a whole different thing. That's not going to be fun for anyone involved. That's the downside to doing a piece like this, is you can't physically get round the back of some parts. I think the key for this piece is going to be kind of almost oil paint style, all of the colours in, smash it all together, and then go in with highlights and dry brushing and further detail. Not getting into that? No. I've just come back to streaming. I'm not getting back in. I'm not getting into that. Absolutely not. Okay, let's flip this around and start doing this. I've got some other ones of this kind of display. There's like a inside of a castle and a dungeon and some sci-fi ones, and I kind of want to do a little collection of all of these at 10mm and then go and find some 10 or scale down some 10mm or 28mm prints down to 10mm and do sci-fi and do like a 10mm Necromunda, and I think it'd be quite fun. Miniature in all senses of the word. Yes. Politics are fun. But we come here to avoid and escape all that kind of thing with relaxing music, relaxing painting, and apparently horrendous dog farts. Jesus. Bailey hasn't been feeling today. Feeling very well today. He woke up with a very rumbly tummy, and then didn't eat his breakfast at all. Had a couple of treats, and he's eating dinner, so he's fine. He's okay, but he definitely was like upset stomach. And now it's coming out in gas form. That's fun. Let's just say I'm happy my commission business depends on local clients. Yeah, Vanessa, there's another reason why I'm focusing on content creation and Patreon. And less of shipping stuff out. If I can get to the Patreon and YouTube to the point where it's paying my bills, then I will be incredibly happy and incredibly relieved in the future. So if brilliant segue, if anyone was thinking about supporting the channel, go through Patreon, exclamation Patreon in the chat, because it is definitely the best way of doing it. And not out of the realms of possibility of being able to cover, well, help me live. Running the maths, it's doable. And seeing what some other creators are doing, yeah. Digging the chill music for sure. Yeah, it's. You weren't here last week, Pillow, but the stream is very different to what it used to be. Gone are all the redeems are gone. All the loud kind of chaos is gone. All the kind of rock music is gone. I've just made like a 3-hour lo-fi playlist, which is just going to be on shuffle, and it's just going to be chatting, chilled out music, and painting, and that's it. And that's it. Did you get yourself sponsors that you can get a commission from a purchase code? I've gone down that route before, but I never saw anything. I don't think. Well, I know that the links that I was putting out just weren't getting hits and then weren't getting conversions. So I've gone down that route, and yet I've never had any money from it. Or it's been too little money and it doesn't hit the payout threshold. So I kind of just want to focus on direct support, things like Patreon. That's where I'd rather put my energy. If I ever make it down to the UK, though not with its current government, I will come and buy minis from you personally. That's very nice of you. Very kind. Thank you. Aoki Lodge time? Aoki Lodge? Is that my version of OnlyFans? Oh, the chilled out stuff. Right, okay, yeah. We went in opposite directions there, Vanessa. Yes, yeah, chilled out. If there was a miniature painting lo-fi study girl, I want to be miniature painting lo-fi study girl. That is the goal of this this channel now. Oh, lounge, Aoki lounge time. Yeah, absolutely. Although I'm kind of liking the lodge vibe, kind of winter snow resort lodge, roaring fire or crackling fire. I could dig that. Get behind that idea. Okay, just trying to, now that I've painted all the back section in dark colours, I'm just making sure that I'm painting the right bits. Wood, rather than just completely missing it. Oh, I'm going to have to go in with a detail brush because I'm just not able to get in there with this size. Aha! No, go through the doorway and paint the doorway that you really didn't want to paint because it's going white. There we go. Ah, I know what I could have done. I could have liquid masked all of those bits of structures. You get yourself cottage background with a crackling fire. Ah, it sounds pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, that does sound pretty good. Okay. Getting to the point where I'll probably swap over to a smaller brush in a minute. No! Oh, I should have totally liquid masked off this these buildings. Sorry, I didn't realise I was so off camera there. Hang on. There we go. Okay. Considering moving somewhere where you need a roaring fire versus being 85 Fahrenheit, 29 degrees Celsius. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a fan of like autumn and winter. I love summer, I love spring, I love heat. I've this week with the storm and it being there was 2 nights or 2 days actually that were especially cold, and I get grumpy in the cold. I'm not happy. I'm not a happy person in the cold. Hey Vite, and also the studio is great, but it goes up at an angle, so there's probably another 10 feet above my head at that point of the room, so all the heat goes way up there, which leaves the room quite cold. Yeah. So when it gets especially cold, I'm kind of divided from the house with a conservatory. It can get a little chilly in here. Okay, yeah, I'm aware that there are Canadians in the chat, especially cold. Look, okay, British cold is different. All right, anyone who's been here from overseas will tell you that British cold is different because it's wet and it's damp. So it may not be numerically cold, but it feels like it. I actually had that when I went over to Switzerland for a holiday, and I was standing outside where I was staying, and there was snow on the ground. I was like, I'm warm. Why am I warm? And then I came back to the UK. I'm like, why is it so much colder here? but the numbers are like it was a good 5 degrees warmer. Yeah. I live on the west coast. We get all the storms from Ireland. Yeah, I mean, like I'm down in Cornwall, Vitae, so I get storms from both sides. I'm surrounded by water on 3 sides. The cold is miserable cold because it's cold and wet almost all year round. Not all year. I mean, Cornwall's because I'm down in Cornwall. It can be incredibly hot and warm. It's almost always windy though. Dry cold is awesome. Yeah, humid cold. So humid cold is basically Cornwall in the winter. There's so much salt in the air because we're so close to the sea that it very, very rarely snows down here. So it is just wet and windy throughout the entirety of winter. It's just crap. During the summer, Cornwall's amazing. It's brilliant. But during the winter, it's just the worst. I'm really liking this tone for the trees. Going darker in the shading with things like... I might use Cygor Brown, actually. Cygor Brown's really dark. Yeah, I think Cygor Brown, and then go quite high contrast on it. Had that when I lived on the northeast coast, which is jutted out and it's on top of a cliff. Ooh, yeah, northeast. I mean, I don't think... Have I been to the northeast? The northeast of England is one of the few places I don't think I've ever actually been. I've always been on the west coast. I don't think I've ever been to somewhere like Newcastle. I don't think I've ever been to Leeds or Newcastle or anywhere. I've been... I used to live near Manchester, which I actually was pretty good. Like, it was incredibly warm during the summer, but it was nowhere near the sea, so it was just like still air, which could be a bit punishing sometimes. I'd rather have dry -40. I'd rather have -40 dry cold than -30 humid cold we get in Quebec. Yeah, it's punishing, isn't it? You're just south of Newcastle. It's pretty high up, to be fair. Had an unusually warm fall here this year. It's just starting to get cold and icy. We've had hail over the last couple of days. Which is I don't know whether we'll get snow. Cornwall gets snow maybe once every 3 years, roughly. It has to be really cold for Cornwall to get snow. And no wind, because if any wind will bring in the salt from the sea. Right, just putting the... I was going to swap brushes, but it's fine, it's working. I might for the smaller details. You live near Whitby? Okay. I lived in Wigan, which was halfway between Liverpool and Manchester. And pretty far away from the sea, comparatively. Not like Birmingham far away from the sea, but... or Coventry. Ah, no, I've got some... There we go. Problem solved. Oh, you know what? You live in Lancashire. Ah, okay. Yeah, I studied in Wigan for 3 years. Well then, I'm on and off paint stripping some wooden shelves at the moment. Great background noise right now. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying that. Is it less chaotic background noise, I hope? Hey, Jem. How's it going? Welcome in. Wouldn't want to live by the sea in the winter. To be fair, living by the sea, like going for a walk on like Christmas Day, or like a good dry for Cornwall winter walk on the beach is really nice. when it's not like horrendously windy. That can be quite pleasant. Like a Christmas Day walk on the beach is quite nice. Right, I think I'm going to swap the brush for a little bit more detail. Move back to the northeast coast in a heartbeat. Yeah, it's part of the world that I really should go and visit at some point. I have very little knowledge about the northeast. Right, a lot of these kind of shadowy bits, it will get to the point where I'm just gonna throw things like Rattling Grime and maybe even Black Templar into it, and all of the far corners will just disappear into shadow, into darkness. Drama, yeah, there you go, Squeezle. Yeah, oh, drama camp. And the stories of drama school that unfortunately I cannot forget. Whitby, York. I'd like to go to York. Oh wait, no, I'm an idiot. I used to go to Yorkshire and Huddersfield. Yes, Huddersfield. My godfather used to live in Huddersfield, or just outside. So I much prefer the southwest, if I'm going to be honest. Wife has Tales of Drama School. I think, yeah, because Vitae, doesn't your wife do musicals on the West End or something? Isn't she in the West End, or has worked in the West End? Vanessa, looking forward to taking pictures of my minis next to the hamster. No one in my family suspects my evil plan of using the critter for fame purpose. Do it. Absolutely, it's worked for Bailey. You noticed that Dovahkiini has been doing... Yeah, I have. Yeah. Dovahkiini's been doing very well. I haven't swung by her streams for a while. I haven't seen her in person for over a year now. But yes, I have noticed that the Dovahkiini streams have been doing quite well. She's performing arts teacher, works at the RSC, that's what it is. I thought it was the West End, but yes, the RSC. That's right. I know, I knew it was something big and with theatre in London, or around London. If I ever make it to England, there is a town that is literally just bookshops that I want to check out. What's that? I haven't heard of that. I haven't heard of Bookshop Town. Right, where have I missed? I've missed there. Hamster for scale pictures. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to what Vanessa is going to do with said hamster in regards to miniatures. Although I really want a hamster with a tiny little saxophone and sunglasses riding on top of a Land Raider now. You know the song. You know which one. Hay on Wye in Wales, no idea where that is. Hay on Wye? Hay on Wye is a bookshop place. I've been to Hay on Wye. I think I used to live near there. A long time ago. Okay, let's just waggo some paint in there. There's certain parts of this model that when it's in the frame, you're just not going to see because you can't angle it in the ways that you would. Luna Bacon, thank you very much for the follow. Client orders a tank, put hamster on top of the tank. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, definitely. I've missed you too, Vanessa. I have missed streaming. I took time off. I needed time to kind of distance myself, sort myself out a little bit. The other reason it's not all mental and madness and running around and manic is I'm medicated now, which is probably why I'm a lot more chilled out. in a good way. In a good way. In every possible good way. But yes. I would finish the old streams and then go upstairs, 3-4 hours of that madness, and then go upstairs and I'd just pass out on the bed all the time. It's very easy. It's easy to miss if you're not from the UK. What's that? Oh, I see. So yeah, no, I'm enjoying the kind of chilled out vibes as well. Just seeing which bits are wood and which bits are leaves. I think realistically, I've got to leave the paint the buildings until last, because I will have to go back over them with white probably a couple of times to get a nice. Saying that, do I go white or do I go a very light cream colour, something like using howling sand, and then dry brush it up, a pale yellowish grey? I don't know if you'll remember the old kind of Warhammer Fantasy High Elf buildings that they had in White Dwarf and the army books. That kind of vibe, and then dry brush up white. So for these buildings here, Vanessa, these 3 buildings here, I think the roofs I want to have a kind of turquoise light green vibe, an artificial version of the leaves, but the actual buildings themselves, I think cream and then dry brush white. Bit like a whitewash. Yeah, I was thinking of whitewash. I was thinking of just hitting it, when it's all done, hitting it with like blinding light wash, but maybe a little bit of cream in there as well. Cream wash would be great with a green roof. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Vito. You've passed the infant stage of Twitch streamer. I'm now a mature streamer. Ironically, the streams are less mature than they were, but in a different way. Pillow, would love to say, but I've got to go pass out. Hey, Nora, Pillow, thank you very much. I know it must be quite late for you at the moment. Thank you very much for swinging by. I do appreciate it. And all of the streams now, all of these will be uploaded to YouTube as a VOD on Thursdays. So stream Tuesdays, I download and upload and mess around with it on Wednesdays, and then they'll upload on Thursdays, roughly around between 4 and 6 p.m. my time. So last week's is on YouTube now. It's one of those things that I'm not expecting a lot of views on, but if people want to watch it and just have it on in the background, then great. It's 2 hours of chilled out painting and chatting. So is it cream first then jam, or the other way around? Right. I'm going to get so much hate for anyone from Cornwall who watches this. So, for those of you who don't know, scones, cream teas, very British thing. In Cornwall and Devon have a big kind of like, what goes first, the cream or the jam? In Devon, it's you put the cream first, then jam. And in Cornwall, you put jam first, then cream. And it's a whole thing. I live in Cornwall, but I use the argument that if you have a jam sandwich, do you put jam first or butter first? You clearly put butter first, then you put jam. So I'm in the camp of scone, cream tea, whatever you want to call it, cream first, and then jam on top. Peanut butter first, you heathen. Removes the silly bit by the time he posts to YouTube. No, that would mean way too much editing. Way too much. Until you said green roof, I was thinking whitish green for the walls. Well, I was thinking kind of maybe pallid bone, pale yellowish brown, that kind of cream, and then yeah, like a light green, like an aqua roof kind of vibe. Antiv, hey, no butter, just jam. God, I mean, oh, what, for jam sandwiches? But butter, man. Butter. At least you pronounce scone properly. Well, yeah. Of course. Scone? What are you? Get out of here. Go on. Jog on. Scone. I'm coming across so posh right now. Battle Squig, hey, I think if you're going to eat immediately, then cream first, but if you're making a packed lunch, then do jam first, or the scone will go soggy. Only if you have low tier cream. We're talking, if you go Rodder's Cornish clotted cream, you ain't get no soggy scone, my friend. If anything, it will solidify it. That will make it into cement. Oh, clotted. Yeah, clotted. What? I mean, what else would you put on? What else would you... Some of us want to keep our arteries working. Boring. Are you saying... So, Battlesquig, do you put, like, double cream on a scone? That is wild. That is a hot take. That is a scone hot take. I've just realised this is probably the most British stream ever. We come in and we've talked about the weather and we're talking about cream teas. And I know that my accent has gone slightly bit more RP ever since we've started talking about cream teas. I'm very aware of it. The whole point of putting butter or cream on bread products is to protect the bread. There we go. Cream first, absolutely. Goddamn Brits making me want scones. There we go. There we go. Cream teas. Okay. I think that is all of the wood sections. I'm sure I would have missed bits, which I have. It's that classic thing. Classic thing of, I've finished it, great, turn it. Oh no. There's a bit more. Okay. That you'll probably see. There are some sections where I'm just like, you'll never see it when it's in the frame. But there are other sections like, maybe. And I certainly don't want to put it in the frame with all the models in place. Because there will be quite a lot. I'm thinking there's a stag, there's a general on a stag I want to put in there with like treants and dryads coming out of here. A Fey Enchantress on top, not Fey Enchantress, Sorceress on top with archers and Way Watchers around the sides, and then spearmen along this middle section with a banner, and that'd be cool. Do you butter a bacon sandwich? Yes. Well, I mean, I don't eat bacon anymore, but when I did, yes, absolutely. Don't even know where to get clotted cream. If you ever find, I can't remember where your base target, but if you ever find Rodder's clotted cream, RODDAS, clotted cream, the best clotted cream in the world, I will not be taking questions. Other opinions are wrong. It's just that simple. It is just that simple. It's incredible. I've had a muffin or croissant before I get a scone. I mean, yeah, absolutely. Moist-proof bread is logical. Yeah, there we go. See? It all makes sense. It all makes sense. Right, okay. While we're waiting, I mean, it's drying pretty quickly, but while we're waiting for that, I'm going to throw some paint onto the base, but I will just touch up with white first, because we're going to be working with lots of different layers of basing. Sit here and enjoy my bean and spinach burrito. Oh, that does sound pretty good, actually. What kind of beans? I'm fussy about beans. Baked beans? No, can get in the bin. Veterans of this stream know how I feel about baked beans. I'm assuming you don't have baked beans and spinach in a burrito, though, because that would be just horrendous. Just the worst kind of thing. Dovekinney, I hope he's doing well. He's a good boy. Is Dovekinney on? Is Dovekinney on stream on Twitch right now? And my computer's frozen. Brilliant. I cooked bacon and had an egg and bacon sandwich earlier. I like vegetarian, but yeah, I respect. I can respect the egg and bacon sandwich. There are some things that I miss. Occasionally miss. Proper good egg and bacon sarnie is pretty up there. That's right, baked beans are a thing over there. Hackslash, I wish they weren't. They're utterly... Is it the sauce or baked beans or the bean itself? Both. Everything. The whole concept. It's just the worst. It says... Okay. Oh, man. Right. Okay. This is supposed to be a chilled out stream, and now you're going to get me ranting about baked beans. I'll do it. So, baked beans, first of all, the texture of a bean is one of the worst things in the world. It's hard and then mush instantly. I don't get it. Also, it says in tomato sauce. In what world is that watery substance, that watery abomination, anything like tomato sauce? Lies and slander. This is what Big Bean wants you to believe. It really is. You're all falling for the trap of Big Bean. No, baked beans can... I'm so angry. I've messed up now. Thanks, baked beans. Ugh. Just the worst food. Making me mess up on painting. Stupid baked beans. No, take the concept of baked beans and all of the baked beans, put them in a rocket and fire them into the sun. And that would still not be a grisly enough death for them. Not gonna lie, baked beans are nasty. Yeah, they really are. Only learned that people... Hang on, I missed that. Only learned that people eat baked beans for breakfast over there when I was like, wait, no, baked beans are something served with barbecue over here in the US. They should be served with nothing apart from disappointment, because that's the only thing that they can go with. Maple baked beans? Okay. I mean, you've intrigued me with the addition of maple. I'm assuming that's very sweet baked beans, or you're just eating baked beans off a tree. Either way, I'm intrigued. You've said it so much, I might make beans on toast once I finish the next piece of wood. Merlin. Why would you do that to yourself? Why, Merlin? Baked beans belong on a jacket potato. They're not a breakfast item. Okay, also controversial. Don't like baked potatoes. Not a big fan of baked potatoes. It's just a big... It's just a big shape of the same thing. No, not into it. Not into it. Love a good chili dog though. Now, beans in chili. Yes. Beans in chili. I can go with beans and chili. And kind of things like oh god, what are they called? What's hummus made out of? Chickpeas. Chickpeas I can go with. But just baked beans? No. Baked beans and coffee do the same thing to me, and that is just disappoint me. If I eat baked beans, there's less baked beans in the world. No, that's not how capitalism works, Marlon. That's not how capitalism works. That's not. I appreciate the sentiment, but you've been lied to. Yeah, I think for this, a creamy white on the buildings, and then whatever I use on the roofs, I want to use on the floors as well, I think. Next up for my cooking is a new iteration of my chili beans, kidney beans, 2 poblano peppers, cool, 2 jalapenos, and various other spices. That sounds spicy. Put chickpeas in bolognese to bulk it? Yeah, I do chickpea curry. So, Alchemist Models, imagine that the beans are cooked with maple syrup and lard chunks? Lard chunks. That's a sentence that's not going to leave me anytime soon. Chunks of lard. That's pretty unhealthy. Not going to lie. Canadians are still learning about chili peppers. I grew chilies this year. I had for a tiny little hydroponic system, I had quite a few chilies coming off. Got a little bag of tiny chilies in the freezer. I'm very happy. It's the first chilies I've ever grown. And they've got a kick to them as well. I wasn't disappointed. Okay, let's do a little bit around here. I'm trying to decide what I'm going to start with on these rocks. I want to play around with kind of not just grey. I want to go kind of brown and greens and maybe a little blue in there as well. Maybe a little blue. I'm from Yorkshire and the sound of large chunks even turns my stomach. Yeah, large chunks that's... I think it's twinned with the word chunks that is doing it no favours whatsoever. It's field work or breakfast. I mean, you're going to have to work in the field for like 20 hours straight to work off whatever you just put in your system because, dear Lord. Alright, okay. I think I've sufficiently muted it down around the base. I make everyone sick, but I love black pudding. I went to Ireland. I went over to Dublin a couple of months ago. And I found vegan black pudding. Now, considering if you haven't heard black pudding is literal blood that's been cooked in it's like a sausage. It's a blood sausage. And I found vegan black pudding. Now, I can't think of anything less vegan than a blood sausage. But it was really nice. So much so I really want to find it again over here. It was incredibly nice. Hey, what was that? Hey, Yajari! Hey, Yajari, thanks. Thank you very much for the Prime resub. How you doing? Welcome in. Vegan black pudding, what is it? Salt, beans, and black. I honestly don't know. But I don't know how you make it. But it was really nice. Live at this hour, yes, Yajari. Yeah. I'm back to streaming 1 day a week, Tuesdays, 6 until 8. Nice, chilled out, relaxing stream. Listening to me rant about how I hate baked beans and like vegan black pudding. Had some chili flavoured black pudding. Ooh. I mean, if it wasn't hungry before, I am now. I'm trying to lose weight, so I'm constantly hungry at the moment, but now I'm especially hungry. Oh, I've got veggie mozzarella burgers in the freezer. Yeah, that's happening. Black pudding is the cleanest of sausages there are. I mean, that's not hard, to be fair. We call it the Blutwurst. Bloody sausage, yeah. Blutwurst. I mean, that sounds way cooler than black pudding. Blutwurst. I'm probably saying that horrendously wrong. I apologise, Yajari. Right, okay. That white has probably dried now. It's enough to take off the worst of it. So, what are we going to go with? I think the general tone. I'm really liking Mummified Grime as a basing paint at the moment. So I think greenish grey, Mummified Grime, and then throw in things like Gunner Camo, stipple that in, stipple a bit of burnt moss in that we used in the background. That's not burnt moss, that's burnt moss. And then maybe even a cultist cloak for a little bit of blue, tiny little bit of blue, I think. Yeah. All right, let's do that. Let's start with the Mummified Grime. clean and sausage. Yeah, those two words don't really go together, but yeah. Who mummifies their dirt? Sensible gardeners. I don't know. I don't know. Try saying the U like in Unst. Unst? Unst. Blutwurst? Blutwurst. Back in the days where we're back to me trying to learn different languages over Twitch. Never works. Never works. Right, we're gonna use that brush. No, that brush. And in Blut, it's like the U in U. Blut first. Blut first? I'm gonna say Blut first. I'm going with that. Okay, so this is mummified grime. We'll probably do 1 or 2 coats of this because it ends up coming out quite light. There we go. Yeah, and we'll throw in some additional shades. But it's quite nice just to get a base coat. I'll probably end up, because we're on 7:15 now, we might do this again next week. Because I'm aware that this stream has pretty much just been base painting, essentially. Almost teach Alki German again. Yep. It's never worked very well, has it, Yajari? I'm actually learning Italian on Duolingo, which I'm aware is not the best way of learning a language, but it's the most language learning that I've done in literal years. And I'm not very good at it, but I could recognize. I could read Italian. I think I could read the basics of where I am up to. I'm fairly confident. Speaking, my pronunciation's not great. And I get the kind of male and female versions of things confused a little bit, but I haven't been doing it for that long. The strong points for this stream have always been languages and geography. Yep. Sweet memories. ZBC, hey, how's it going? There's a face I haven't seen in a long time. It's very true. It's very true. Yep, I'm back to streaming once a week. Tuesday evenings for the UK. I don't know what time it is over in the States. Just for 2 hours, just once a week, just a nice little chill thing where I'll work on a little diorama or something for me. Or I almost worked on my ghouls that I'm working on for Spearhead. I'm going to give Spearhead a go. I'm giving a Games Workshop game a go, which is shocking for me. Mainly because I had the exact right 3D print files for the entire of the Flesh Eater Court Spearhead. I was like, well, this doesn't cost me a lot. Cool. I'm really happy with how they're coming out. But I'm also doing a whole video about it on YouTube, about learning Spearhead and going through that process. So that'll be a whole thing. So I'm not going to show anything off from that because I don't want to spoil it. What a gaming app where you need to repeat sentences in a language to unlock levels. I mean, that's Duolingo. You just do you mean like gaming? Because you just described Duolingo. Cool, man. Don't do social media much anymore. Yeah, I know. Brand said you were kind of backing off from that. Saw the notification. Yeah, I'm here. I missed it. I missed streaming. How's Bailey? Asleep. Very asleep. He hasn't been very well today, actually. You missed the weaponized farts that were coming out of that dog like 40 minutes ago. He woke up not very well. Didn't eat his breakfast, but now he's fine and just completely. I mean. Oh no, he's awake. There we go. Well, he was asleep. Completely tuckered out. Bailey? No? No reaction? Okay. Alright. No treats anymore. No treats anymore. All the redeems are gone. It's a much different vibe in here, ZBC. Gaseous Doge. Yeah, absolutely. It's also, you know, he's had quite a lot of treats today. So I was like, you're not eating your food. Have treats instead, just so you are actually eating. Okay, that's the bass tone for the bass done, I guess. Yeah, he's fine. He's fine. If he didn't eat tonight, then I'd be worried, but he's not. He's all good. And apparently, whatever was wrong came out of him because oh damn, those farts were grim. They were bad. They were turn the air chunky kind of fart. I don't apologise for that image. You're welcome, internet. You're welcome. Have your dinner now? No worries, Ujari. Oh, you're in your farmhouse. Are you on the farm? Amazing. Chunky, tasty gases. Absolutely. Actually, one of the main reasons I don't have a go. To be fair, Bailey very rarely farts. When he does, it's and it doesn't linger. It doesn't last, but it hits you like a train and then just moves on. But you remember it. You do remember it. Right, okay. Oh, I've missed 2 massive bits of wood right there. What a fool I am. What was I using? I was using burnished red, wasn't I? Burnished red? Reddish brown? Yes, that's one. It doesn't last, but it is remembered. Yes, yes, absolutely. It's an event to experience and savor. Savor is a choice that I wouldn't necessarily go with, but it definitely experience is accurate. Okay. Just do this a little bit under here. Timing wise, what are we on? 20 minutes past 7. I'm just going to try and plan out the rest of the stream. I think if I do the shading on the wood as well, that will probably take us to time, and it'll be a nice place to kind of get up to. If I manage to do the shading and maybe the shading on the branch, on the trunks and all the wood, and then maybe shading on the floor, on the ground, I think that will be a good point to kind of get to. This looks very Lord of the Rings like. Yeah, that's the kind of vibe I'm going for. So the plan is for this is I've got a load of 10mm wood elves, which are the forest dragon ones, and I've printed them all individually, so they're absolutely tiny, and I'm going to have it as a display of the wood elf army kind of marching forward from their homeland, or defending their homeland, and then I'm going to make or find a frame that it will sit in. I was debating playing around with putting some LEDs in here, but I don't think I want to. Oh, harsh, Vitae, harsh. Right, okay, so yeah, I'm gonna go with. I think Cygor Brown. Yeah, Cygor Brown's kind of really thick and it sticks where you put it. And I've got plenty of it, so that's fine. I don't think we're going to do another coat of mummified grime, but we will put layers over it. I need my blending brush. So the idea is, you've seen me do this lots of times before. I'm going to put a little bit of Cygol brown in, and then kind of blend it out into the wood. We're going to focus on the recesses and have a lot of fun with it. Recently picked up the Get Off the Road Lord of the Rings diorama from GW. Oh, that's very cool. That's a very, very cool diorama. I'm the models for the is it not War of the Ring? War of the Rohirrim? Whatever the new set, the new starter set that's kind of based on the new animated show is. All of those models are really good. Actually, since I'm on stream, the latest preview that came out this Sunday is the first time that I've looked at a Warhammer preview and gone, I like everything in that. It was strong. Like new Elder models, we finally got the Warp Spider Exarch. Everything new in that preview, very strong. Got a fair deal on it, so I've got someone painting up for me too. Oh, nice, very nice. Very, very nice. Okay. And we'll just feather, working with a damp brush, we'll just feather that down. So it's going from almost black. It's not quite that dark on in real life. On stream it's quite dark, but Fox! The Krieg, yes, the Krieg, right? Absolutely. Hey Fox! How's it going? I was thinking about you the other day actually. Thinking I hadn't seen you around the hobby space in general. How are you? Yes. Also, Plastic Krieg. Like, full-on army of Plastic Krieg. Very, very cool. Those riders are top tier. And proper Krieg artillery. Although, what is it? The engineers? Where are the shovels? Give us the shovels. Give us the shovels. Not that I don't like you guys over the pond. Shipping has just got too much to send commissions over there. No, I fully appreciate. So, for those of you who weren't here earlier, unfortunately, because there's a whole thing going on with the EU in regards to import and export that's coming into place. Basically, I've had to stop shipping to the EU completely. EU and Northern Ireland and some other countries. I got caught up in all that. So I've just said no EU shipping. As of January, not to get political, and I don't want to get political, but I think it's going to become harder from January onwards, depending on what happens, to ship to the US, which is going to be, like, losing the EU market sucks. I didn't sell that much, but losing any sales sucks. Losing the American market, that will hurt me big time. It's the recycling issue. It's the new safety regulations that have come in. Good bit from Waller. Yeah, terrified that shipping costs starting from 2025. Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be harsh, and I am worried, which is why I'm focusing on. For those of you who don't know, I'm focusing a lot more on content creation. Hence why coming back to streaming a little bit more, and Patreon and YouTube. I'm really pushing YouTube. I'm really pushing Patreon. As something that will hopefully at some point become a main source of income for me. I've only been posting regularly there for probably about 2 months now, maybe a little under, and it's grown way more than I thought it would, if I'm honest. And I hope it to grow even more. Yeah, it's not gonna be great. Target, it's not going to be great. Oh, thank you, ZBC. Thank you. Yeah, it's I'm doing well. I needed to step away from streaming, and I needed to kind of focus on other things for a bit, for a multitude of reasons. But yeah, I kind of got to the point where I was like, I don't want to get back into full-time streaming. I don't have the energy, but it'd be nice to kind of get back into the community. You know, see some familiar names in chat, and hopefully some new names. Yeah. And with the new setup, like only 2 days, only 1 day a week, 2 hours, nice chilled music, just me painting and chatting to you guys, then yeah, I'm happy. And if you want to, I mentioned it earlier, but for anyone who is new into the stream, if you want to watch the streams but you miss bits or you miss a stream and you just want to have it on the background, then all of the VODs will be uploaded to YouTube, to the YouTube channel 2 days later. So I stream on Tuesdays and then I'll upload on Thursdays, or it'll go live on Thursdays. Vanessa, it's a lot being on social medias. It's like being a constant public party where you must always watch how you appear and act. Yeah, exactly. And especially when you're getting a relatively high viewership, you are always going to get people who don't like your work for whatever reason, which totally fine, but air opinions that aren't constructive, let's say, and it's you have to make the decision of whether you bite back, and I'm very, very aware of don't feed the trolls. I never feed the trolls, but there are certain comments that I'm like, that's not accurate at all, and it's clear that you haven't really engaged in the content and are just throwing shade for no particular reason. Those ones I bite at. Mainly because you got to have something to rant at. Off to play some bolt action. Have a good evening, Alki, and Tool Chat. Thanks, TBC. Enjoy bolt action. Enjoy gaming. I hope you're well. You feed Hedgehog so your Steam. Yeah, Hedgehog's different. Hedgehog's the fun troll. Yeah, that's the kind of, you can see the kind of before and after here of the shading on the left and the right. That's the kind of vibe I'm going for. I might even kind of stipple in some little kind of manual highlights a little bit. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how it goes when it dries. Feed the trolls as long as they feed your channel. It's just sad if comments are always negative. Yeah, I mean, and they're not always negative. They're not. I think especially because I predominantly work with contrast and speed paints, and there is a whole sub-community of kind of bashing on speed paints and contrast because it's cheating and it's not real painting, regardless of how fun it is and how accessible it makes the hobby and encourages people to get involved. But yes, it's some of the comments can be frustrating, but then you scroll up and people are lovely, so it's the minority. It really is. Rhett, hey Rhett, how's it going? Believe of Bob. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. No more. It's not cheating. You can do so much with them, and it's so many techniques. Yeah. So yeah, exactly. It's and those comments usually come from a place of ignorance. I am aware that you're not likely to win any competitions. I never claimed that I was going to or wanted to. That's not why I'm doing it. The content I make is to help people relax for some of the longer stuff, and also just if you're new to the painting hobby, the miniature hobby, and you have never picked up a paintbrush before, and then if I can show you a video of how to paint, for example, a Tyranid in half an hour, great, cool, awesome. You can answer the trolls with a simple, I'm sorry if this content isn't for you. Yeah, which I have done before many times. It's like how I get beat on for deadlifting sumo. Intriguing. People commenting can't paint with contrast or acrylics. Well, I mean, it's fairly it's obvious when there are people who kind of commenting and haven't had that much experience and are just kind of following the vibes, following the bad vibes, which kind of sucks anyway. But I get that. What really irritates me is when people who are involved in the hobby and have been for quite some time and are talented then go and kind of throw shade at a technique that is just kind of was invented to make people, get people involved in the hobby that they are involved in. It creates the community. It grows the community. It makes it more popular. Therefore, you're going to see more products. It's going to make more money for the companies. It's all a positive thing. And it's people who have got experience in the hobby that then throw shade at contrast. Forgive the pun. That kind of that sucks. That's a kind of, come on now, you should know better. We're all hobbyists together. Let's not fight amongst ourselves. Let's come together and make this hobby as inclusive and fun for everyone as possible. Yeah. The meme is Sumo's cheater. Oh, I see. No worries, Rat. I mean, I'm only on for another 25 minutes, so if I don't see you again, then thanks for swinging by. Enjoy your food. But like I said, a majority of the comments out there on social media and various other things are positive, which is all nice to see. It is a large majority of this hobby which is, I think, is very inclusive and very supporting in nature, which you wouldn't necessarily find in some other hobbies. And of course there are bad eggs everywhere, but you can't help it, and we just ignore those people. Alright, just take paint off there. So there you go. You can see the kind of before and after on the left and right there. That's the vibe I'm going for. Vanessa, yeah, it's like a streamer I knew back when who started his channel with quiz nights and giveaways, and then started giving. I'm trying not to swear because otherwise I'll get demonetized on YouTube. So, for the streamers who were doing that, calling them gimmickers, putting blame on them for not coming to his tutoring-oriented streams. Oh, do I know who you're talking about? I might know. I'm vaguely aware of something like that happening. It might not be the same person. But yeah, like, it's a shame. It's a shame when people are like that. It really is. But that is not the attitude here. That is not the atmosphere here. It's not something we promote here. So we want happiness and inclusivity in the content that I make and share. Okay. Yeah, I think next week we're going to be working on the leaves and the buildings themselves. But if I can get in the next 20 minutes or so, if I can get the wood shaded, I'll be happy. It's actually quite a lot of it. Again, there's parts where I'm just like, you're never gonna see it. So I'm not overly concerned with bits like that. Decided to have a serious stream to give tips and such, and then let go of the entertainment part of the stream, and then blame others for his. Oh, I see. Yeah, well, kind of shot yourself in the foot there a little bit. And by all means, like, do a more serious stream, but, you know, if you change your content and people who liked your previous content don't turn up, that's kind, you know, that's just part of it. You got to accept that. I knew going back into this kind of stream that, you know, there would be some people in the previous community that liked the manic nature and liked all the kind of stream raiders and the rollouts and that kind of chaos, but that's not the kind of stuff that I want to create anymore. And there's plenty of people out there who don't do it. Cycle, there it is. A little bit more on the palette. Yeah, there we go. A lot of this is going to be quite dark because it's in the recesses. You'll only see the very tips. I'm not too fussed about getting rid of most of the paint. That can go quite dark in there. I'm moving relatively quickly. Yeah, I need to figure out what I'm going to do with getting a frame for this. It'd be quite nice to have a wooden frame. And then maybe stain it. So I think with considering it's wood elves and woodland and nature and things like that, in order to put it in a kind of plastic 3D printed frame where you can kind of see the layer lines, it would be maybe a little bit of a shame. I don't know. Or maybe I can print a frame and then put some putty over it and use a roller to get a wood grain effect or something. Actually, that's not a bad idea. That could be quite cool. It's not a completely daft idea. Vanessa, yeah, it's like you go through life-changing decisions to yourself. Don't expect all friends from your previous life will remain and like who you're becoming. Yeah, exactly. For you know, for good or bad. You know, people move on with their lives, and you know, I've changed as a person. Everyone does change as a person, and kind of lost or stopped speaking with people that I used to be quite close with. So that's just part of life. There's no point in being mad about it. Okay, I mean, a lot of this background stuff here is going to be hidden behind like spearmen and figures. So I'm not too fussed about getting it crazy neat, because again, you're not going to see it. As long as it doesn't obviously look like paint splotches, I'm okay with it. Squeezel with the raid of 1. Hey, Squeezel. Thank you for the hydrate. That's a good point. Okay, just gonna work away the paint from the raised section there. We're just wetting our brush, getting it nice and clean, but working quite quickly. This section here is a little bit too light, I think. But most of that is leaves anyway, so. Let's work. As long as I can get like half of it done. I don't know whether I'll get all of the wood done because it's quite a lot of it. It's quite a big part of the piece. I'll just throw some in there because that's going to be quite dark. can't believe we had a baked bean rant again. There we go. Okay, just working that away. It was very tempting to print out an arcane piece and work on that, like a Jinx and Vi, because I did one originally with a frame, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it, and you know, with the whole Arcane Season 2 coming out and being absolutely amazing. No spoilers in chat for anyone who hasn't seen it yet. If you haven't, I highly recommend. I'd actually recommend watching Season 1 again before you start Season 2, if you haven't already, because there's quite a few references. Is this considered celibate raiding? It is now. Okay. Let's just stipple a little bit of shading, a little bit more shading there. It's actually, I think it's because it's left over from the previous layer. There's a dark line underneath, which is annoying, so we're just going to build it up, and we'll just build it into the shading and just have that as quite a dark section to kind of get away with it. We'll cheat it a little bit. There we go. Yeah, that works. Okay, now it's just this section here, I think, which will bring us neatly to 8 o'clock, I think, which is good. One part of painting like this is you end up with a very soggy towel next to you because you're constantly washing off with water. Okay. Just going to start throwing in that shade into the deepest, darkest recesses of this. Again, you're not going to see much of this, but it's just to cover ourselves for later down the line. Swap that out because it's getting way too damp. Nope. Oh. Okay. I'm just following the curves of the bark, curves of the tree, and just taking the paint off those raised sections when we get to them. Bailey is awake. He is awake. He's wondering why I'm not on the sofa eating food and watching something. You're gonna have to get used to me doing this again, mate. It's only one night a week. You'll survive. It's looking a little rough though. Squeezle. Squeezle. Awful. Absolutely awful. Oh no! We have a bot. Do I have any mods in chat? I don't think I do actually. Oh, I don't want to stop painting to deal with that. Can I just right click block? That would be easier. Aha, mod. Wait. No. Can I do something? Can I do it? Ugh. Ugh. Oh, how do I do it? Is it /ban? There we go. What a cheap viewer. Don't sell yourself short there, Squeezle. Don't sell yourself short. Okay. I'll just put it all into the recesses of the roots. Yeah, this has been sat over the other end of my desk looking at me every single day for months now, just going, do something with me. So I'm glad I'm finally actually starting it. It's going to be a long-term project, I think, because of all how many tiny models there are. There's a good, I don't know, 40 miniatures that will be going on this. I'm capable of too tall for that. What, selling yourself short? God damn it. Awful puns. Awful puns. Need a little bit more paint. Kept up with the Critical Role. No, I haven't. I don't think I've watched any of the Critical Role. Like I've seen bits and clips and things like that, and I've watched Vox Machina, the animated show, which I really enjoy. But no, I don't really watch the Critical Role stuff. I'm more a Dungeon Daddies kind of guy, which I'm still behind on. Actually, I think I'm an episode behind on. But that's what I was doing over in Ireland, was watching Dungeon Daddies live, which was a lot of fun. I have massive respect for Critical Role. I do find the content a bit hard for kind of casual watchers because the episodes are so long and I just can't dedicate like that much time to it. That's why I like the Dungeon Daddies one, because they're, sub 2 hours an episode. They're like an hour and a half usually, or even an hour, and that makes a big difference. Although I haven't been listening to it as much recently. There's been Sucker 8, episode 39 of season 1 of Dungeon Daddies. The Deck of Daddy Things. Ah, the Deck of Many Things episode is so good. It is so good. I really want. I would love the because they've done their own Deck of Daddy Things, and I really want it, but it's always out of stock on their web store. That's episode 45 is Deck of Many Things, right? Yeah, that's a really good episode. I just finished listening to season 2 again. I enjoyed. I know not everyone enjoyed. Like season 1, I think is definitely better than season 2, but season 2 has some really good episodes. Like the Titanic episode just kills me every single time. Without fail. If you know, you know. It's the most disappointing belated birthday takeaway I've ever had in my life. Was it your birthday recently, Fox? I missed that. I'm sorry. Happy birthday. Happy belated birthday. I'm sorry that you had a disappointing takeaway. How's the P1S going? the P1S is currently printing out a background for the next diorama that I'm going to be doing, which is very exciting. I love it. So good. So good. The 18th. Oh, man. You're so very ill? Oh, no. It was horrendous. Half got thrown in the bin. Ooh, oh, no. Oh, no. Well, happy belated birthday for the 18th. I hope, apart from you being ill, that you had a good time. Playing a lot with settings in Slicer a lot recently, getting smoother finishes. Yeah, the adaptive... I was talking to Mike Moans about the adaptive layer settings in the Bamboo Slicer. Right, okay. I think, because I've kind of got the wood to... Well, not finished, but... a nice shaded, you know, it's been shaded, and now it's just kind of dry brushing and stippling and things like that. And we're so close, we're 4 minutes away from 8 o'clock, so I think I'm going to call it there because it seems like a good point to stop. And I don't want to start another section and then run over because I'm hungry. And at 8:30 I'm going to go play Ark with some friends. But there we go. Oh, you're back in time for the end, Vite. So, there's the beginning of our latest diorama piece, which is something I want to... Hang on, wait, no, I'm a fool. Wait, I can make this last because I've missed the bit that I missed the first time around. This little section here. So we'll just do that. We'll just throw some paint in there. Okay, now we're done. Now we're done. Otherwise that was going to annoy me. So yeah, I want to be doing... the more content creation I can do, and the more I can focus on that, then the more of this kind of stuff that I want is going to happen. And I want to get to the point that I was originally thinking, I just want to sell art. I want to make and sell art. So... for all intents and purposes, things like custom commissions and diorama pieces, commissions are open. Officially now, I guess. I think they never closed, but, you know, officially, they're open. Making and selling art is the dream. It really is. It really is. So that's where we're going to leave this piece for now. We'll continue with this next Tuesday. And maybe that will just be streams for a bit. Maybe until it's just done. Because all of these models will be going on it as well. There's a lot of models there, and they'll all be going, or most of them, as many as I can fit, will be going on that. But yeah, so we'll call it there. Thank you very much to everyone who's come and hung out. It's been so nice to see so many names that I haven't seen for ages. So thank you very much for coming and hanging out. I will see you next Tuesday. We're going to go and raid. I think Bran's on, so it'll be rude not to raid Bran. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. If you've enjoyed the content and you're in a position to do that, please do consider kind of supporting the channel. The best way to do that is through Patreon. The exclamation Patreon in the chat will get you the link, and you also get access to all the PDF tutorials that I'm putting up on there, more and more every week. One for the future is going to be looking at different skin tones on faces, like how many variations of skin tone can I get with the Speedpaint Contrast range, and having like a step-by-step or like a build-up for each and every one in a massive document, which I think is going to be quite useful for people, especially people painting faces, which is a big challenge for a lot of people. So that's the plan. If you if you were in a position to support, then that is massively appreciated. Again, remember, if you're wanting to buy something from the web store, that'd be awesome. But if you're in the EU or Northern Ireland, I can't do it anymore. I can no longer ship out to those countries. Yay! Right. I will see you all soon. Let's go and let's hit the raid button, because otherwise I'll just waffle on for ages and ages and ages. Search. Brannigan's brushes. There we go. And yeah, stick around. And some of you are probably lurking Bran anyway. But I will see you all soon. Bye. Again, I always forget there's a 10-second countdown. So yeah, stick around. Bye. I need a leaving soon thing. This is really awkward. Okay, bye.